Hi, everybody. I'm Rick Ufford Chase, Mayor of Newport, Vermont, and this is Newport Notes with Rick. I want to start this week by just naming some of the great summer activities that are going on this week. Today is the first Wednesday on the waterfront. So the first concert will be tonight, starting at 6 o'clock. The food trucks will be on Main Street. The band will be down at the pavilion at the area in front of the State House as always, and those will be going on every Wednesday night for the next 6 weeks until early August. So come, grab a chair, bring it with you, bring something to drink, get a bite to eat on Main from the food trucks, enjoy your friends, and dance on the lawn as the sun goes down. It is my favorite event of the year here in Newport. This weekend is 4th of July, of course, and on Friday, the Derby Parade will be kicking off at 10 a.m. I believe that's up in Derby. You can find that online. There will be a ribbon cutting and a formal appreciation for all of those who have done so much to make the Gardner Park improvements happen with the new playground and the misting poles and the new structures that the Public Works Department built for the kids to play in. All of that's going to happen starting at 5 o'clock on Friday afternoon. I will be there, and I hope to see you there as well. There'll be a cornhole tournament happening at 5:30. The band ETA will be playing from 6 to 9 p.m., and there will be fireworks at 9:30. So a full evening of activity in Gardner Park for the 4th of July. On Saturday the 5th, during the day from, I believe, around 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning until late afternoon, there will be a 3-on-3 basketball tournament going on in the hockey rink and basketball court there beside the skate shack, excuse me, in Gardner Park. It will include some music from a DJ and a couple of live bands, and I think there's talk of a dunking station, and it will just be a day of fun and activity. These bands will be playing live, and I think it'll be particularly meaningful to those who are younger in our community and looking for a different kind of music. So show up on Saturday if you're interested in that, or you just want to watch the action with the 3-on-3 basketball. And then Saturday afternoon, MEMSEC, the Mem for Magog Science and Education Center, will be holding its official grand opening. I believe that starts around 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon and goes for several hours. If you have not yet gone in to check out what's going on the second floor of the Gateway with this new Science and Education Center, you really should go by. It is not podunk. There is a lot happening. The exhibits are amazing and professionally done, and it's going to be a fabulous resource for the kids and families in our community and for visitors alike. So that's the grand opening on Saturday afternoon, and enjoy the rest of your fabulous weekend. I'm hoping for great weather. There are a few items that I want to bring you up to date on in terms of the activities of the council. The most significant of which is that I got word this morning that the City of Newport has been approved for the line of credit that we will need to manage our cash flow for the fiscal year 25-26. That will be a loan offered by Passumpsic Bank for $2.725 million. That's $2,725,000. And that's money that will all be paid back during the year so that when we finish the year, we'll be back at zero again. It's simply to help us manage cash in anticipation of tax income that will come in throughout the year. So that took place today. You should know that we paid off last week's line of credit. There was a remaining balance of $1.8 million. We had just enough money to pay off our entire line of credit last week, and we are starting the year just about at zero. So we've got a lot of work to do to make sure that we stay on track with our budgets and do not spend more than we take in this year. And of course, the council has a lot of long-term planning to do as well to try and make sure that we are making decisions that will set us up for long-term future financial success. So those two things have taken place. We will be meeting on Monday night, the 7th, this coming Monday night as a council. And one of the items on the agenda will be to warn a special meeting, a special town meeting held by Australian ballot, effectively a special election on August 12th, in which we will take on some of the other large borrowing questions that we have before us as a city right now. I've reviewed those in the past, but just in the briefest of ways, I'll mention them again. We'll be asking voters for permission to borrow $1 million over 10 to 20 years in order to pay off the deficit in the sewer budget. That's paying it back to the operating budget to help with cash flow. We'll be looking for $1.8 million loan to pay off the deficit that has occurred in addition to that in our operating budget. And that would be money that would come on the operating side of the budget or through our tax income side of the budget, again, over 10 to 20 years. We'll be asking for permission to raise the amount of what it will cost to purchase the new fire truck that is finally ready and should be delivered sometime this fall. And the voters had initially approved a loan of $800,000 to pay for that fire truck. And it looks as if the final price tag, some 3 years later, will come in at around $875,000. So the voters will be asked to approve that additional $75,000 in that same special election. And then finally, we will also be looking for approval from the voters to do a short-term loan to pay off our water tower construction line of credit in October and bridge until we get the bond from the Vermont Bond Bank that we are anticipating. So that will be roughly $3 million. Again, the voters approved this back in 2021, and the project is finally complete, thanks to all those who came before me on council and in the city staff and the mayor who made that project happen. And then finally, there are some major projects we will be taking on as a council during the month of July. On Monday night, we will also begin consideration of a review of the personnel policy. That policy was updated a year ago, but there are questions in the minds of some council members and certainly in the minds of some community members about what best practices should be followed right now. And we will be reviewing those best practices, looking at other communities and reviewing our current statement and looking to update it if necessary by the end of July or mid-August at the latest. We'll kick that effort off on Monday night. We'll also be hearing from the task forces throughout the month of July. Finance Task Force has two major things on its agenda right now. One is to begin a project to reform our general ledger chart of accounts to make it easier to understand and read our financial statements and to use them for budgeting. So we'll be working with Chip Stearns, our consultant from NEMRIC. The New England Municipal Resource Center is the group that we have contracted with to provide our financial advice, and they will be helping us with the reformation of the chart of accounts. And then secondly, we will begin a deeper dive, making sure that everything we did in our 25-26 annual budget, that's the budget we have just begun living into yesterday, we're going to go through that budget line by line and look for any items where we could be saving money, any items where we are not collecting revenue that we should be, to ensure that we will come through this year fiscally solvent and with a zero at the end of the year, if not some kind of an income. And then the Water and Sewer Group is continuing to meet every week to 2 weeks. They are working on two major projects right now. One is a review of our current water and sewer ordinances, and the second is the project on trying to get all of the meters completed and to have a plan by which we're going to take care of that project. So stay tuned for more information about that. Housing Insecurity, Public Encampments, and Community Safety Task Force has now met twice. They'll be meeting again this afternoon, and I suspect they will begin to come back with some recommendations to council by late in the month of July. And then finally, we expect the first meeting of the Task Force on Strategic Planning for the Fire Department to take place sometime in the month of July. We can expect that work to go on probably for at least the next 9 months as they gather information about the best way to plan for the next 5 years or so in the fire department. I think those are all the major things that we have going on right now. I'm enjoying summer, as I hope you are. It is my favorite time of the year, though I love all of our seasons with the possible exception of mud season in Newport, Vermont. But it sure is wonderful to have warm temperatures and be able to play on the water. I'm just hoping to get out on a kayak the first time this weekend, and I hope you all are taking advantage of it as well. Have a great holiday weekend.